You do not want fluorinated, chlorinated water all over your hair.
By now, you've probably heard of coffee enemas, and there are so many reasons to consider doing them.
Who's it for? Well, anybody that eats food and has a liver, kidney, and colon.
Which are organic herbs like reishi, valerian, chamomile, magnesium, ashwagandha, and organic CBD oil.
Supplements, coffee enemas, essential oils, red light therapy. It seems everywhere we look on the internet, some influencer is trying to sell us the secret to health, wellness, longevity, and so on. Today, we're going to talk about it. So hello, welcome back to my channel. Hi if you're new here, hi if you're not. Welcome back to my social media scam series where we discuss things that I believe to be scammy happening all over the internet. If you are new here, you can get caught up on the rest of the series right here. And if you're like me, you probably spend a ton of time on the internet. So if that's the case, I'm curious, have you, watching this video, ever purchased a wellness supplement, course, program, protocol from an influencer who promised that it was going to be the solution to solving whatever health-related problem that you might be facing? Because, damn, it seems to me that these people are everywhere. The claims that they are making are truly wild. I think that they're just out to get your money, and we need to talk about it. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, blah, 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 blah. Shout out to my channel VIP members. Thank you so much for being here, as well as Zurify, Tom, Harrison, Suzanne, and Juan in the billionaire tier. If you're interested in learning more about the channel membership, you can click the join button down below. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So what exactly is a wellness influencer? Well, to be honest, I think the scope is pretty broad. From privileged white girls sipping green juice on the beach to health bros telling you to drink your own urine, there's a lot of content on social media that would fall under the broad umbrella of wellness. But for the purpose of this video, I think that I would like to define it as any individual who utilizes their platform to share content related to topics like nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle habits aimed at improving their physical and/or mental health. And while I personally don't think there's anything wrong with building a social media platform around any of those topics per se. A key aspect of the particular individuals that we're going to talk about in this video is their ability to connect with and build an audience through creating and showcasing aspirational content that is often completely unfounded, or I think paints this really idealized, sort of unrealistic version of what health and wellness looks like. And as we will discuss, the popularity of this type of content can often lead to the spread of inaccurate or misleading claims, misinformation, or unproven health advice, if you can even call it that, typically as a means of allegedly benefiting the influencer financially. I mean, in my research for this video alone, I came across so many people, specifically on Instagram, calling themselves holistic health experts or something of a similar nature. And so many of them had zero credentials beyond their own anecdotal experience healing their acne or losing weight or whatever the health claim was. And each of them is shilling their own affiliate codes and programs and protocols under the promise of being able to help you heal your chronic illness, detoxify your body, or anything else of that nature. And so let's get into what some of this content actually looks like before we move on to discussing the red flags that you should look out for in order to protect yourself from some of these online wellness scams. Okay, so I actually want to give full credit to the first wellness influencer that we're going to be looking at. I found this profile through my friend Mallory. This is Mallory over on Instagram. She makes a ton of really great content specifically around wellness influencers, the spread of misinformation, and that sort of thing. So if you're interested in this topic and you want to learn about it further, I would recommend you go and follow her. I will make sure to have her profile linked in the description of this video. So she posted this reel, which we will watch together, and I think it'll just help to provide a little bit of context about what we're going to get into next.
Oh, your tummy's not going to hurt the first time you're eating raw meat. I mean, it will be easy to digest as long as you're starting off small and your mindset isn't telling you, oh, there's going to be a bacterial infection. If you tell yourself that, you'll probably get sick. So go into it saying this is nourishment, this is vitality, this is raw life.
Yeah, bacteria and E. coli, it's just a mindset. That's why Christian doesn't get sick.
Been eating in over 90 hours. Had a little gut bug, gross, food poisoning, whatever it was.
Ooh, so close. Next time.
Presumably, you can see where this is going. After watching a few of this guy's videos, a few things became glaringly obvious to me. Before we get to the really wild video we're going to watch, I want to cover what those things are. So first of all, this guy subscribes to the idea that everything in life is a choice, which is a really common trope that we see in the mindset coaching space and a lot of the content that we react to on this channel. And in my opinion, this is a perspective that reeks of privilege.
Most people don't realize they can just say f it and move to a remote beach jungle town.
No, most people can't actually do that. And the fact that you don't recognize that most people can't do that, to me, is a huge red flag. From what I've gathered just from combing through his Instagram content and his website, it appears to me that this particular individual has always lived in an able body and has no experience or seeming awareness around what it's like for people who aren't so lucky.
To start off, I am feeling absolutely energized, chiseled, and strong. Before I get all egotistical and just flex in the mirror, because I'm not even in that light. I'm not much of a bodybuilder guy anyway, standing on stage.
He also believes that the science around the sun causing cancer is fake, so there's that.
Yeah, we've been told for the past 20, 30 years that that thing is what causes cancer, causes melanoma, and all these health issues. Is that entirely true? Obviously not.
And he's an affiliate for, in my opinion, some pretty questionable supplements. So
Just Shilajit. It's from 12,000 feet in elevation, this ancient resin sap. It's loaded up in carbon-60, terrific for mitigating against EMS.
So, with all of that information aside, let's see what else he has to say.
Here's a typical meal that Tarzan eats on the near daily for primal energy and raw vitality. Let me get up these flights of stairs to catch some sun first. Okay. Before I show you the details on this wild man meal, I want to preface with the fact that I've been in the field of nutrition for almost 10 years.
Okay, so I checked, and his website does say that he has a Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition and a Holistic Lifestyle Coaching certification from the Czech Institute, which, upon looking into that, to me just looks like any other self-proclaimed certification school created by some guy on the internet. I mean, I talk a lot about this kind of certification programs in this video here, so if you're new, I would recommend you go and watch that video. Anyways, all that to say, do these credentials qualify him to be giving nutrition advice to other people? I mean, you can be the judge on that, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure unless you're a dietitian or a medical doctor, you're actually technically not supposed to be giving people nutrition advice. Anyways, let's see what else he has to say about this whole raw meat situation, because my curiosity has been piqued.
Helping over 250 clients master their gut instinct with food. And I can assure you that this is not something I'm promoting. It's something I'm experimenting with and have been for the past 7+ months. So let's check it out.
I find it really interesting, that particular point there where he says he's not promoting this, yet he has an entire platform where he basically shares content exactly like this. To me, this is particularly interesting because I think it speaks to influencer culture as a whole and something that has been on my mind recently. And you can let me know in the comments if this is something you've thought about or something you've noticed as well. But oftentimes I think influencers, not just wellness influencers, like anyone online with a platform, myself included, while these influencers benefit directly from having a platform of people, followers that pay attention to what they have to say, I think they sometimes try and skirt the responsibility that's associated with taking accountability for the types of content and things that you share on your platform. Being an influencer, in my opinion, comes with a certain level of responsibility, especially when it can impact someone's health or well-being. Again, let's take this particular creator as an example. He has 178,000 followers. And with that, I would assume that he has some level of influence amongst that following. Even if we are being super conservative, let's say that less than 1% of his audience actually pays attention to what he has to say. That would probably still be over 1,000 people. So 1,000 people are listening to what this guy has to say and are believing what he is saying. Now, he makes this video and many, many other videos on his Instagram feed where he is openly sharing that he eats raw meat every single day. To me, despite the fact that in the video out loud he says,
"I'm not promoting this,"
the fact that he is sharing it to his audience in his content is him promoting doing that thing. I mean, I'm sure we have all seen this on social media. We have all fallen prey to this. You see your favorite influencer influencer taking up running as a hobby, and now suddenly you feel like maybe you want to start running as well. You see them drinking a Diet Coke, and now what do you know? Next thing you want to go and buy a Diet Coke. You see them talking about the benefits of eating raw meat, and guess what? Suddenly you think that you should be eating raw meat too. Well, maybe not you specifically, because I feel like the people that are watching this video, the people that watch my content, are not the type of people that would watch a video of someone eating raw meat and then want to go eat raw meat, but I think you get my point. Influencers have influence. And when they use their platform to promote, in my opinion, harmful behaviors, they are putting their audience at risk, regardless of whether or not they claim that they are
not promoting anything.
If you are an influencer, your entire platform is built on promoting whatever content you're sharing. I will step off my soapbox. Let's get back to the video.
Oh, but dude, you're gonna get parasites and bacterial infections. Almost daily, I have a pound of some ruminant meat. This right here is lamb. Sometimes it's venison, buffalo, or beef. I throw in some incredible fibers and antioxidants from basil, from onion, cooked in coconut oil, some organic tortillas, avocado there, some sauerkraut, some raw cheese, and honey with some habanero sauce, and the carrot. This is just a spectacular, jam-packed meal that has supported me so much with my health and vitality. And you stack it with the sun, and man, living good. Little raw meat tortillas with some egg yolk. This one goes out to all my bacterial friends. So good. Oh yeah, that is wild.
You know what? He's right. It is wild. His caption then goes on to read about how Big Pharma is fueling sickness, how nutrition is the cornerstone of health, and how he became inspired to follow a raw lifestyle when he stumbled across the teachings of some alternative nutritionist. Like, what even is an alternative nutritionist? And while again, he may try and claim that he's not promoting this, all of his content centers around this alternative lifestyle and raw diet. And of course, you guys are not going to believe this when I tell you this, but this guy is selling one-on-one and group coaching. More specifically, per his own website, his coaching is not for you if you have a preference for conventional living. So, sorry to break the news to you, but us brainwashed mainstream science sheeple are not going to be the right fit for this program. What a tragedy. Okay, so this next creator highlights something that I think is pretty unique that we need to address when it comes to these wellness style influencers. For starters, she checks off all of the boxes when it comes to like what I would think of the blueprint for being a wellness influencer. She promotes various supplements.
Taking my element every day has changed how I move through my days. These gummies are NSF certified, taste like candy, and are my daily go-to. And my recent new favorite is the Longevity Mushroom Pack.
She discusses the horrible dangers of breathing unfiltered air.
Did you know that indoor air can be 100 times more toxic than outdoor air?
And she preaches the benefits of things like red light therapy. All of which, mind you, lead to an affiliate code of sorts. But that's not really the issue, or at least not an issue that I have. The issue, or rather question that I have, having gone through her profile, is that in both her bio and in every single one of her captions, she mentions her Doctor of Pharmacy degree. But then she promotes tools and products and methods that in some cases have little to no scientific backing. So my assumption here is that the general population of us normies tend to assume that someone who has a medical background, such as a pharmacist, should have a deep understanding of how medicine and the body work together based on scientifically backed evidence and research. So my question is, why are we using a degree or a credential that is the direct result of studying science to add legitimacy to our holistic lifestyle claims? Like, to me, that's creating a false sense of authority, no? Am I missing something? Just because she was once a pharmacist doesn't mean she's using those same scientific principles in her work now. But her followers might falsely assume she is because she includes it in every single post that she makes. And for me personally, I take great issue with this, just like the last guy who is but isn't telling his audience to eat raw meat. We need to think about the potential risks and the harm that could be caused to the people that follow these influencers, because mind you, this woman has 265,000 followers. If people stop taking medication or stop listening to what their pharmacist or their doctor has to say in favor of these more holistic solutions, who's to say what could happen? I mean, for those of you that are OGs here on the channel, you've been around a while or you're familiar familiar with the broader anti-MLM community, you might recall when we saw the implications of this in real life last year when Jesse Lee Ward, who was a top promoter in the MLM Prove It, followed a holistic practitioner's protocol to try and heal her stage 4 colon cancer.
I made the decision in that moment when my prognosis was given to me that I was going to absolutely heal from this, and I was going to do it holistically.
And she was using things like coffee enemas and juicing and ozone therapy and red light. I mean, there's a ton of articles and videos about that specifically, so I'm not going to get into it in this particular video, but I'll make sure that I have one linked down below for you. But it is just so heartbreaking to me to think about how someone can be struggling with something like cancer or chronic illness or weight loss or mental health and be led to believe that some influencer on the internet with 100,000 or 200,000 followers is a trustworthy source of information just because they say they are. Like, what is this world coming to? Okay, last one, slightly less problematic, but still problematic and important to talk about. I really just needed to include this one before we move on to red flags. Okay, so as you can see on screen here, this is just a conversation around detoxes. And so I just picked this creator randomly, but posts that look like this are a dime a dozen, truly. So the caption for this particular post reads, "Every day we absorb toxins from the environment and our diet, along with stress, which can slow down our metabolism, digestion, and interfere with absorbing the nutrients we need from our food, which creates a negative impact on our immune system and energy levels. This isn't just about removing toxins, it's about reclaiming your energy, balancing your body, and getting back to feeling amazing. Hey Google, turn the office lights to blue." And so basically this person is selling a 10-day cleanse. And I'm no scientist, nor do I ever claim to be in any of my content, but there is one thing that I know for sure. And that is that your organs, like your liver and your kidneys and your digestive tract, actually do the work of cleansing and detoxing your body every single day, provided that you're relatively healthy and you eat a diet that is sufficient in fiber and nutrients. There is a Harvard Health article that I will link in the description for this video, but I think that the summary kind of says it best. It says, "The human body can defend itself very well against most environmental insults and the effects of the occasional indulgence. See the body's own detox system. If you're generally healthy, concentrate on giving your body what it needs to maintain a robust self-cleaning system, a healthful diet, adequate fluid intake, regular exercise, sufficient sleep, and all recommended medical checkups. If you experience fatigue, pallor, unexplained weight gain or loss, changes in bowel function, or breathing difficulties that persist for days or weeks, visit your doctor instead of a detox spa." The idea that you need juice or tea or a supplement to cleanse your system is once again based in misleading marketing and not science. And I mean, the caption here that I already read, I think really centers on this idea of fear mongering when it's using words like toxins as a reason to get you to buy whatever they're selling. In my opinion, the only person truly benefiting here is the influencer as you open your wallet and hand over your money, because realistically, all this program is going to do is send you to the toilet. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at some of these wellness scams, and trust me when I say there's a lot more where this came from, I am literally just scratching the surface. Let's discuss specific red flags that you should watch out for when evaluating some of these wellness influencers. First, and arguably most obviously, I want you to ask yourself this question. Is what this person is saying even true? Is there any amount of scientific evidence or studies to support the claims that they are making, the things that they are saying? Again, if we go back to the raw meat guy, it took me 2 seconds on Google to search, "Is it safe to eat raw meat?" where I was then linked to not only endless news articles, but also actual peer-reviewed studies that highlight the dangers of eating raw meat. All that to say, red flag number 1 is baseless claims to cure, heal, or improve your health and wellness with no credible sources or evidence to back it up. Red flag number 2, which was actually highlighted by influencer number 2 that we looked at, is either the lack of or misuse of credentials in order to create a false sense of legitimacy in whatever the person is saying. So for example, again, this is just my opinion, but using your doctor of pharmacy degree as a means of validating, in my opinion, baseless holistic health claims is kind of a questionable practice. Please just remember that Just because someone has a certain number of followers or they claim to have some sort of specific title doesn't necessarily mean that they are qualified to be giving you health advice, especially if they are stepping outside of their professional scope. I mean, this whole thing kind of triggers a memory in me from the panorama times, if you will, where I specifically remember this happening on Twitter, because all bad things happen on Twitter, let's be honest, where there were a number of chiropractors who, despite the title of being a doctor, are not actually medical doctors, spewing so many baseless medical conspiracy theories, and were really just kind of fueling, in my opinion, that whole like COVID conspiracy pipeline, because people saw the title doctor and thought what they were saying was true, even though there was no scientific evidence from the medical community to validate the claims they were making. Anyway, let's move on to red flag number 3. This is one that we see a lot actually in the business coaching space, which I discuss at length here on the channel, and that is the idea of a quick fix. So this might look like the opportunity to fix your mind, body, and spirit in just 90 days, or it might look like those people that are promoting a cleanse or a detox to
heal your body.
Listen to me carefully when I say this. You do not need it. Got it? Good. Red flag number 4 is the overuse or reliance on vague or misleading buzzwords, words like toxins and chemicals and detox and cleanse. And lastly, red flag number 5, again, this is an overlap with what we see happening in marketing in the online business coaching space, but that is the use of limited time offers and basically any other high pressure sales tactic to get you to buy whatever it is they're selling.
Buy now or lose out.
Like, I don't think legitimate wellness brands need to rely on scarcity or high pressure marketing in order to get you to buy their things. Like, if I think of the company where I buy my protein powder and my creatine from, sure, they might like email me a discount code or say that they're having a sale every now and then. That's like a normal part of retail, but they aren't constantly emailing me telling me how shitty my life is going to be if I don't buy their product. Nor are they saying that I need to make my purchase by tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Otherwise, I'm never going to be able to buy it ever again. It's not that serious, guys. It's never that serious. Listen, there is no shortage of people on the internet trying to sell you nonsense, so please just be careful out there. Following misleading advice from strangers on the internet can not only potentially impact your physical health, your mental well-being, but probably also your bank account. As with any of the investment opportunities, and I use that term very, very lightly here, any of the ones that I discuss here on the channel, I really encourage you to do your research. Ask questions about these people's qualifications. Don't take every single thing they say at face value, and think critically before you buy another health-related product or service. Health is wealth, baby, and I want you to think about these people's intentions. Like, what do they have to gain from you buying their thing? This is so, so important, especially when it comes to handing over someone money for some magical miracle cure. Okay, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel for the rest of the social media scam series. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about wellness influencers? Have you ever been scammed by one? Share it down below. And I'm going to leave you on screen here with another video that follows a similar theme where I talk about eating disorder coaches. Yes, it's as crazy as it sounds. Okay, thanks so much for being here. Take care, comb your hair, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!